So that's why,
When, not if, but when, yes.
yes, exactly. So it's starting to come together because, I've already signed up for skipper courses, and they gave me this huge manual that I need to study in English. I was told that, of course, we will send you the Russian version, but English comes first. Why? Because it will be very comfortable for you to communicate, well, in quotes, comfortably communicate with our colleagues from Greece. I got it, okay, I understand the idea. So I will learn in English. So start, so to speak, a little with getting to know you as a person who has been there for 8 years. I'm remembering correctly, you've been living there for 8 years, right?
Well, yeah, almost 8, like 7 and a bit.
Got it. So you mentioned that you've been living on a yacht for 8 years. Can you tell me how life on land differs from life at sea?
Life on a yacht is total freedom because your decisions depend only on you. And the weather? We can choose any direction to move, cross oceans, change continents, and you make that decision yourself. The execution depends solely on you. If you don't like the neighbors at the anchorage, you can always change your spot. In a house on land, it's not so easy for us to just move to another place. We still have to deal with certain things. And on a yacht, you can easily change and basically adjust your reality to fit you. That's why I say that a yacht is the minimum of stress, because if you don't like one place, you can always move to another. You don't need to do sports on a yacht, because in principle, a yacht is a sport. Even when you're sleeping, your muscles are working. You don't need to go to the gym. It's like a free workout. So you'll be able to get in shape in no time at all. Even if you were an employee in the previous office, after a few months, you'll become a true Apollo. It's easily achievable.
So, okay, it sounds like freedom and a sporty or healthy lifestyle, right? But from a more practical, everyday perspective, because when you talk about it, it seems very, like a fairy tale life kind of. It's such an ideal that seems very far away. Maybe a little bit from a more practical and down-to-earth perspective. You mentioned that you lived in Moscow, if I'm not mistaken, right? And accordingly, you were kind of interacting with people in a city with a population of 20 million or however many, right? And despite all that, you say that you actually interacted much less there than in your current life. So, can you tell me a bit from that perspective about how it's different?
When I talk about the sea, that I live on a yacht, a lot of people get scared. How so? We all see just one body of water. What about socialization? What are all these people like? And I'm saying that actually when I lived in my past life in Moscow, I interacted way less with people than I do now. Because in big cities, people are very closed off and don't reach out much, and they generally smile very little. And people who live on the water and on yachts are very open because, first of all, they are always moving around and a lot of different acquaintances happen. Constant friendship exists at sea, but since everyone is always moving around, you have to put in extra effort to maintain it. So people in general make contact very quickly. When we arrive at a new marina, we don't wait long for everyone to get acquainted. We are the first to go and offer to see everything because there are people who travel. It's actually a treasure trove of knowledge, and you can definitely learn some nuances about life on a yacht from a narrow traveler. So when we moved onto the yacht, the amount of my social interactions skyrocketed. We started going on YouTube because there are a huge number of subscribers. We started sharing information with other people because the sea in general opens a person up, and there's no point in keeping all of this to yourself and hiding it. And when you smile at another person, you get so much more in return. I think that's why all the X-Men are such open, friendly people. Well, of course there are exceptions, but for the most part, for me, it's just the perfect community of such unassuming people who don't impose their advice, always help, and are always open. The doors are always open. We don't have this thing where the yacht's doors are closed. You can come in, knock, and visit. There you go, and the readers will be happy.
Look, let's start wrapping things up now. It's really a rapid-fire question session. How many countries have you seen during this time? Because I wanted to say how many in the description, but I don't know how many.
On the yacht, it was probably Germany, France, Portugal, and Spain. 4 countries, but while we were traveling looking for a yacht, we passed through about 20. So how do I know that? because we have a little kid, Seryoga Yelchenko. He has 20 countries in his passport.
Ha ha ha. Great, great. Okay, look. Who are the people you've met? And how has that changed your life? And maybe you can share a story about a specific person who really stood out to you.
In fact, we meet a lot of different people because people from various backgrounds come to the sea. We had a situation where, for example, during a storm at a record anchorage, we helped save a motor yacht from crashing into the pier. This morning, a man came to us and gifted his book. And from the signature, it turns out he was actually a British lord. That was quite a meeting. Then we somehow met parents of another boy at a children's gathering. They invited us over, and it turned out they were businessmen, owners of a large amount of real estate. And we just spent the whole winter with them at their anniversary in the mountains. And during that time, we invited anyone who wanted to try out life on a yacht for free so she wouldn't get bored. Actually, it was a pretty cool story. When I posted that offer, I literally had a booking for a spot within 2 hours for 6 months. People even wrote, "Can we come for 2 months?" I said, "Guys, there are a lot of people interested, maximum 1 week." There was even a couple from South Korea who came, which was really surprising.
Listen, that's a strange question, but why for free?
Why? Not.
No, that's a cool answer. It seems like you can earn from it, so why not?
I actually suggested to the guys that we should launch our startup there. We were creating a marina docking database all over the planet. We were gathering information. It's a marina calculator, and it's still the largest marina docking database on the planet. And I just told people that they could live for free. They just needed to spend a couple of hours a day organizing the prices in the marina that I was putting together. And everything else, like electric water, if you use it, then that's an additional charge at the marina because you didn't participate. Yeah, we didn't offer any additional markups. On the contrary, we were actually happy to give people the chance to try out the yacht for themselves. And a few couples came to us who were trying out life on a yacht for the first time. Then we interviewed them and they told us about the difficulties they faced. Well, basically, living on a yacht is a completely different story. Basically, the toilet, yeah, it's different. Usually it's a standard toilet like in apartments. Everything is different on a yacht. We don't have running water. We use the intake water to make sure all of this goes to the building. And there are no buttons. On old yachts, they usually have pumps in the toilet, so you can even build up your muscles. Thank you. See you soon.
Got it, got it. Okay, can you tell me, since everything you're describing, I mean, it sounds very idealistic, how do you actually balance it all? I know you have a family and you have some kind of job because you have to earn a living, right? And then there's this lifestyle. So in the mind of an average person, these things usually don't go together. It's either one or the other. So, can you tell me how you manage to balance all of this?
Actually, it's a big discipline because when you start working, typing, and you're in such beautiful locations, gorgeous bays, it can be hard to make yourself focus on your tasks when everyone around is swimming and enjoying this perfect picture. But since we live this way 24/7, we see it as our normal reality, so we just enjoy it all and go about our business. It's really great to travel with the kids, so we just enjoy all this and go about our business. It's really great to travel with kids. And basically, kids can be on the yacht from any age. The younger they are, the easier it is to manage this. And I think that's separating. The question was how to balance life, earning a living, and family.
If you can, could you bring it down to a more everyday level? I mean, not just on an emotional level of how you balance it, but more on a practical level. Since all people, especially on land, are very materialistic, that's why I asked you this question about why for free, right? So, immediately, material questions come up like, how do I balance this? I need to earn a certain amount of money, so I can spend a certain amount, let's say, on the yacht, on my family. And how can all of this be put together in general? So is there something that, for example, suffers more? Well, I mean, one of my fears is that if I'm on the yacht, I'll end up working a lot less and consequently earning a lot less. Well, that's just an example, right?
Yeah, it's actually quite difficult